I'm glad y'all are here. I'm going to check out some of your stuff. Look, this is critically important. I think some folks know this is my third year. I've been here for 2 years, fully 3 years, and only 2 weeks ago, I think. The program's critically important, but I think also the arts are critically important. So I started working in correctional facilities like in '07, and it was a guy that inspired me. His name's Breon Bain. He's a spoken word artist. He's now at UCLA. He's actually from Brooklyn. His family's from Trinidad and Tobago. Him and his brother Kay Bain. Kay works at Queensbridge doing a lot of work there on initiatives to counter violence. And so first went in juvenile detention center with Breon, and we did some spoken word. My background's in philosophy. I did the philosophy, he did the poetry and spoken word. But I think, one of the things we're failing to recognize is the power of the arts. And so for me, these kinds of moments are incredibly important. What are you doing back there, brother?
I'm trying to understand what he said. Y'all know y'all hear the president?
Can you hear me? Y'all hear what I'm saying? You take the microphone away from me. So as we kick this off, I want to give you a little bit of Breon's work. I'm gonna mess it up because I haven't done it in a while. I forgot that this was going on today, but some of y'all heard this, so just shut it down. It's the fish. You know the fish piece? Is that okay? We do fish, a little bit of fish. No, you don't like it? Whatever. That's all you got. Is that? Emily, No, you don't. You know fish? You know fish?
Mom's the word.
You know that piece? Well, I give you an abbreviated version. So when I mess it up, it's okay. So now wait, this is my role. It's an important role I'm playing for you. When I make all the series of mistakes I'm gonna make, so when y'all get up here, you don't have to be nervous, because the first guy just made a mess of it. And so the piece that goes like this is not my piece, it's a friend of mine's piece. But I think it's important for this kind of environment. I like the piece for a variety of reasons. So it goes something like this, and I will probably make some mistakes. All I got is some fish and a few loaves of bread and a whole lot of folk that gotta get fed. All I got is some fish and a few loaves of bread and a whole lot of folk to feed. If the 7 seas could be made in just 7 days, if the first man could be forgiven when he misbehaved, if a twig could be taken from a tree by a dove to a boat before a great flood, if a father could be asked to sacrifice his son and to pull up just before he was done, then this fish and this bread that I got is all that I need for me to get fed and for me to feed a whole lot of folk in need. You see, all I got is some fish and a few loaves of bread and a whole lot of folk that gotta get fed. All I got is some fish and a few loaves of bread and a whole lot of folk to feed. I believe I can part the sea now and then and put them back together again. I believe I can slay any great giant dead. If I believe in my heart, I can bust him upside his head with a stone thrown from a sling that we cling from before we lost our crowns when we knew we were kings. You see, we believe to believe in. I believe in belief. I believe faith comes in the night like a thief to knock out each of uncertainty's teeth, to put to death our disbelief. See, I believe that a faith that can get mountains up at a bed is a faith that can easily spread 2 little fish and 5 loaves of bread. You see, I believe I can fly. I believe I can soar. You see me walking through that open door. I never felt so free. But who could it be? Believe it or not, it's just me. Believe it or not, it's just we. Believe it or not, this fish that I got and this bread, some say it's all I got, is all that we need for us to get fed and for us to feed a whole lot of folk in need. Thank you very much.
With that, we welcome you to the Brooklyn Book Festival here at St. Francis College. What an awesome words. So welcome, be inspired, remain encouraged, everyone. Playing right here to me is Mr. Paul DeAndre Manning, 20 years old. He's an alumni of Brooklyn Democracy Academy. Paul Manning was a guest on the Jimi Hendrix tour. He's playing on the guitar that was gifted from Jimi Hendrix's sister and signed on that mission. He played at Madison Square Garden twice at New York Rangers games. He played in Radio City Music Hall, and he also performed at the Apollo. Give it up for Paul Manning. Next, I'd like to introduce a friend, very dear friend of mine, Mr. Chris Garcia. He will be performing Reality Uncut by Microscopic Razors.
Peace. I said peace.
Hey!
That's what's up. In light of our wonderful president, I just want to he warmed it up real nice, so I'm just gonna try to uphold that. This one is called Reality Uncut by Microscopic Razors, and it was written at a time of my life where I was trying to find some balance. And anybody who's been through some struggles understands that in the times of struggle, you don't get to see straight all the time, right? Things are always happening around you to try to take your attention off of where direction you know you need to go in. And so in this one, I don't even know if I'm gonna need the mic. Can you hear me in the crowd?
Yes.
Can you hear me in the crowd?
Yes.
I cry aloud about a pain that clouds the entire landscape of my shouts, but I doubt that you can hear. Your ear's too much in tune to diminished chords and broken melodies in June, and now you're telling me what you think it ought to be, but that insecure perspective anchors on your jealousy. You see, inebriated babblings of a virtue dipped in Hennessy, and I so hate it when you're drunk. See, the funny thing about that is I lived to see your day, and I loved you much too much to watch you throw it all away, yet here I play the catcher, singing, hey, bye, bye. It's the 7th inning stretch in a game that doesn't matter anymore, and you can thank the score for that. You see, that abandonment's my residue. A stinging slap, perpetual. This league, it doesn't have a mercy rule, and it's incredible. But to keep it going, though, is fruitless. This harvest has been brutal, foolish. And I wonder why we do this to each other. You see, what's the point? The way you show your love is like a tendon with no joint. You see, there's no connecting tissue. A bone without the marrow. The uncertainty of a palm reader looking at the tarot from the heights of Kilimanjaro. Baby, you always let me down. Though I walk the straight and narrow, you wipe defilement on my crown, and now you've called me the king of sorrow. And I'm ever hopeful that tomorrow will come absent from your microscopic razors.
Thank you. Principal Garcia. Reality Uncut by Microscopic Razors. Absolutely. And Chris is a student, my fellow student at St. Francis College. Give it up for Chris one more time. So next is Clifford Pierre, True. Welcome.
Y'all can hear me okay, right? Yeah? Yeah, all right, cool. So, it's basically something that I wrote personally, so I'm still a little nervous. So I'm gonna just need one favor from you guys, and it's gonna be something easy. When I say you're, just say you're back, so I can feel comfortable, all right? You're. Thank you. So the name of my piece is called True. This is basically like my life and everything in it. When I was in the darkness, I was looking for the light. Every turn I made led to a dark corridor of more pain and suffering. I couldn't take it at the time. Each time I woke up, I was fighting not to take my own life, because suicide and depression was running wild through my mind. Blue flag on the left with a gun on my side was really one of the ways that I wanted to die. Not caring if my mom cried because I knew she'd be all right. Not worried about my sister because all she needed was time. And don't ask me about my pops because we never saw eye to eye. At one point, he wasn't my pops. He was an enemy to my eyes. I killed him in my dreams. I wanted to kill him in his sleep for all the pain that I held inside of me. From the age 5 to 9, he threw me to the jungle. The funny part is that the jungle were my uncles, drunk out their mind with nothing to do, kept punching me in my chest even when I started to cry, telling me you'll get tougher throughout time. And they was kinda right, but not the way they wanted me to be. Instead, I grew up and took my anger out on the streets. If I didn't fight during the day, I'd go home and cut myself so I could bleed. Not knowing how to feel joy or be happy, all I knew was anger and pain, so it felt like a relief to me. Now to you, you'll probably look at me crazy and ask me, was it really that bad? But that's why I would say yes, because to me, every day it felt like the world was ending. Not understanding why I kept waking up to the same thing over and over with nothing different. Kept falling to the same cycle of drugs, violence, liquor, you can name it. At one point, I gave up and became one with it. Question my existence in life, like why am I still here? Am I destined to do anything good? I'm just another black man that's a product of his hood. So I said, forget it. I'm gonna ride this life till I die with no hope left inside of me. Gave up looking for the light in my darkness. I accept that it wasn't meant to be. Banging for most of my life, then my brother died. It didn't make sense to me. We was together that night. We went our separate ways. 2 minutes later, he gets shot. Now he's gone from this life. Now I'm here left with more pain inside. After a while, my mom see the hurt in my eyes, gave me this Bible, told me to read Psalm 91 and pray to God too. So I did. I got on my knees, prayed, even with tears falling down my face, asking for his strength and guidance too, because I was so lost I didn't know what to do. As time flew by, more trouble came with it, but this time it hit different. Coming from all angles, I couldn't deal with it. My freedom on the line. Little sister attempted suicide, but through all my issues, I still realized that I had God by my side. Now it wasn't my whole life, but you caught the gist of it. God saved me from myself, and I'm proud of it. His light pierced through my darkness when I got on my knees and prayed, gave him all my battles and stood out the way. For all the mistakes and bad decisions that I ever made, he still watches over me till this day. Before I end this, I have one last thing to say. It doesn't matter where we came from or what we did, we are all the same. The only difference between us is our names. So all I can say is, with a smile on my face, with all the good and bad that came along, since the day I was born, my name is Clifford Pierre, and I'm a child of God. Thank you.
Next up is Helen Skipper, Feeling Good by Nina Simone.
Hello, everybody. So, y'all can hear me. Oh, yes, y'all can hear me. So I just want to do a disclaimer. See, I am a student here at St. Francis, and I have so much homework and so much reading, which is all good because I'm learning. But I didn't really have time to memorize this poem. I just aced my first philosophy quiz, and that's really what I was working on. Thank you. So, by the way, my name is Skip. Forget that, Alan. I'm traumatized by that. Please, just call me Skip. So this poem is by Nina Simone, and it goes something like this. Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day. It's a new life for me. It's a new dawn, it's a new day. It's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you definitely know how I feel. Blossom on the tree, you know too how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. And did I tell you? I'm feeling good. Dragonfly out in the sun, you know what I mean. Butterflies all having fun, y'all know what I mean. Sleep in peace when the day is done, that's what I mean. And this old world, it's a new world, and a bold world for me. Stars when you shine. Y'all know. You know how I feel. Scent of the pine. You know how I feel. Ah, freedom is mine. And I know how I feel. It's a new dawn. It's a new day. It's a new life for me. And y'all know what? My name is Skip, and I'm feeling good.
Well, that means I'm home. Let me think of something. Feel something. My thoughts go pandemic as the world turns. The evolution of the mind of a man who learns. He's a spark from the flame that always burns. Y'all like that? Yeah. Need some more? I'm a teaser now. That's a teaser. I got something in there. Can't give him too much. You can't give him too much. I want to talk to a good friend of mine, Elroy. Good to see you, buddy. That's Elroy. So, are there anyone? I see some very important people in the audience when I was looking around. So I need some help. Is anyone in the audience under 21? If you're under 21, please stand up. Not you, Scott. If you're under 21, please stand up. Under 21, please stand up. Great. Get up, buddy. So, these are the very important people I'm talking about, and I think we should give them a round of applause. Because you guys are our brightest hope. I'm 23, so I'm got up. But indeed, you guys are our brightest hope, and I'm glad that you're here in the audience and taking this in because you guys are up next. And Mr. Tellywhite, we're going to call on, we're going to get back to you while you fix that up. So without further ado, let's bring up, is Marcelo here? Marcelo. Cello, good to see you, brother. Another St. Francis student. Good to see you. I didn't see you. The hair's gone.
I wouldn't let you down, Professor.
Yes, sir.
How y'all doing? Good evening, everybody. Listen, to be honest, I wrote this yesterday, and I finished it on the way over here. So, I ain't memorized it, so I got to read off the paper. Okay, is that cool? Yeah. And I'm going to do my best. I've never done this before, right? How I see is how I feel it, that's pain. Life I've lived, things I've seen, it's all pain. Funny thing is, without that, I probably wouldn't appreciate this. They say life is bliss, I say no, it's pain. And if you don't see it the same, then you can't be sane. Excuse my language, but shit. We got babies having project babies, being raised on malt liquor. That's pain. But I guess it's all how you put it in perspective. See, that same project baby overcame obstacles, strived in school, launched a successful career, got married, had kids that go to good schools, and now they look just like you. That's pain. Definitions are different, but the word and the feeling is the same. See, it doesn't matter what your stature, your money, or your gender. You say you never felt pain? I know you were lying. You see kids killing kids. You don't feel that pain? They killed neighborhood nit, man. I felt that pain. But to enjoy that paradise, you must endure this pain. You can't have one without the other. That's all I'm saying.
Next up, we're going to have Lazaro Lugo.
Time, why you punish me? I've heard it said that there is a time for everything. A time to plant, a time to sow. A time to be born and a time to sow. A time to destroy and a time to build. A time to birth and a time to kill. Guilty I stand. Blood on these hands. The mask that I am. Sentenced to life for the worst crime perpetrated by man. Killing time. I choked it with cheap cigarettes and drowned it with wine. I stabbed it with low self-esteem and shot it with crime. I killed time. We've all killed time. But eventually time has the last laugh and buries us. And here it was, buried I was. Faced with my own death and dying, because in order to live, I too had to die. To self. But that enemy who tried to bury me by killing me didn't know that I was that seed. And that in order to multiply, I had to die. I had to survive. Like the lotus that grows in the mud, I had to strive. Like the phoenix that rises from its ashes, to rise high, to fly. So do I. So do I rise. And again, I rise.
Sorry for the interruption. Well, my name is Terrari White. I'm from Brooklyn. I'm from Greenpoint, Williamsburg area. I'm a freshman here at St. Francis College. Thank you, Ms. Horowitz, for this lovely program that I'm in. I write music and stuff, so that's a little bit about my life. This is a piece was called Untitled, so we're gonna leave it like that.
Kilos weight, fuck clout, you know how I rock it. We the family. One boy entertainment.
Don't know about you, but I take care of myself. When I step outside that door, I start to feel myself. I can never change up, I'm still myself. Everything is kilos weight, I always tell myself. Ain't never had it that bad, don't want to sell myself. Always thinking about myself, I can't disrespect myself. I ever fall down to my knees, I'ma check myself. Look in the mirror once or twice if I forget myself. Xanax, Molly, per drugs, I don't infest myself. Pour a cup of some lean just to rest myself. I ain't looking for no God, I just bless myself. Put a Bible on my bed just to test myself. You can have it your way, I won't trust myself. Toting guns in these streets to protect myself. You was looking up to drugs, you invest yourself. You was looking up to plugs, I invest myself. I ain't never been the one to go self for self. I was always chasing green, I can't help myself. Every day I feel lucky, so I bet myself. If If I ever lose out, I don't regret myself. I'ma get it right back, that's how I set myself. Them your brothers from the mud, better cherish them. Never know when that time comes, and he perish them. Jumping in the streets, I ain't looking for the negative. Inside my boots, I always hung to my heritage. Looking for a way out, digesting that medicine. Mind getting woozy, I can feel that train settling. Don't know about that love, I was too busy settling. Back and forth with love, but that cold heart was checking in. I was looking for a score, my killers bring weapons in. Could be a target now, all for that president. Myself is too big for this geek shit. I learned how to go good offense, come with defense. Try to trick me out the way, but I'm into this street shit. Sacrifice a lot, I can't fall all over weak shit. Some nights will hit harder once you find yourself lonely. Missing out on life is what my mama once told me. She tried to take a life for this gold chain and rollie. Then I turned back, I can't go back to the old me. Stab myself in the back, I'm trying to gain a trophy. You could be a victim, better watch how you approach me. Don't gotta prove it, boy, just be yourself. They got you trapped under pressure, gotta free yourself. You too good for this shit, you should see yourself. I know you want the fame and clout, but you need yourself. Sleepless nights ain't nothing really changed for me. She gon' creep up in my DM, she got a thing for me. Tears from my soul, they got that strain for me. Now I walk around with no soul, just got that thing for me. You better keep it cool, we turn your savage into innocence. Getting up like Canaan, old dog, my favorite menaces. Take me out the hood, I just want some glory. Kilos way, fuck out, this is my story. This is my story. Kilos way, fuck clout, this is my story. Take me out the hood, I just want some glory. I'm a shy person, so just, you know. Thank you. Thank you. I hope y'all like the song.
Thank you. Now I want to see why Professor Harris called it Untitled. I thought it was a provocative title. Recognize Emily Alvarez from Freeverse. Emily Alvarez.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, Emily.
I'm really happy to be here. So I'm here at Freeverse, and my name is Emily Alvarez, and I will be reciting a poem called Destroy Rebuild. Tears fall on my glass window soul, merging to find the love that used to be there. Feeling my heart beating in my ears. My heart runs from the pain that caused it to break. Feeling empty inside, angry like an earthquake. Shattered. The love leaks like blood. Murder case never solved. The heartbreak crime of never letting go. Time ticks while I try to hold on. While I pick up the pieces, it all seems so clear. The love for myself helped me break down every tear. I perceived the love that was once here. I had to discharge myself without a care. The evidence. Loving someone else will always seem strange. But I have to rebuild my strength to ease the pain. I reflect on the times we shared and the moments I kept near. Now I had to look at myself and say, I don't know who I am. I just know something is missing. Those that exalt themselves will be humble, and those that are humble will be exalted. I will find my heart that was once swollen. Just have to keep moving on. Just like the caterpillar, he thought the world was ending. And then, it turned into a butterfly.
Thank you. Thank you. Next is one of St. Francis's, Jeanette Toledo.
Metro cars, microwaves, cell phones, online job applications, all new. Barriers to housing, education, employment for the newly released, incarcerated for years without a clue. So many women, we blend so well, still can isolate. feeding into their plan to desegregate. Human beings have stories to share. They are powerful, depressing, full of violence and despair. Some are going to raise your hairs, but I have a personal story to share. A story faced with obstacles, at times impossible to believe and feel, so inhumane. You can see the pain without a word being said, but I need to heal. I'm a human being that has needs to be heard with a real voice, sharing with remarkable courage, dignity, perseverance by choice. The message which my thoughts at the time was sent was self-destruction to the end. Frustration, anger, urgency, each at their optimum will be. The most important fact, without a doubt, I wanted to get out. All this agony, all this pain, the stress, sleep deprivation, weight loss, driving me insane, racing thoughts, trying to keep her out of my mind, stuck between these walls. There are many skeletons in the closet, chained and locked. If that key is found, it will break my mama's heart. Trying to hold them back, but can't, profusely. My tears will fall. I will hear my cry all throughout the day and night. Desperately trying to make a call. To hear her voice is what I seek. I wonder what's going to happen. Is she going to die? Would I still be burning inside? Hot, sweating like hell, feeling her almost deceased. Feeling like her almost deceased. Must make it, must see her face, hug her, feel her, waiting for that day when I'll be released. At night, in bed, tossing and turning. How long, Lord, must I endure this constant pit of hell? All over burning. I'm not the only one going through this trauma. Me in jail. Breast cancer with mama. Labeled, shunned, alone, discriminated, decompensated. Why must I be degraded? As a victim of abuse and misuse. Since time is all I had to wait. As a victim of abuse and misuse, live experiences I can contribute. Since time is all I had to wait. Myself I only have, much push and self-restraint. A purpose, a meaning, and peace of mind. St. Francis College, rewarding, what a find. A career and a future I most need. St. Francis post-prison program, I must succeed. This is a time when I was incarcerated. Just before I got incarcerated, I saw my mother. She was going through chemo. At the time, she had no hair at all. And this is what I had to go through while I was incarcerated, wondering if my mother was gonna die. Was I able to see her? Was I going to see her? Or was she gonna die? So having to be in those walls was driving me crazy. I did not know she was gonna pass away, so I felt like both of us were dying at the same time. So I couldn't say that before the poem because then you were gonna figure it out. So the name of the poem is Adapting. My mom did pass away in 2015 of breast cancer. So, it is, I'm adapting from that. You can't put time in grief. But also, after incarceration, you're still adapting, no matter how well you're doing. I'm still adapting. So that's why I chose to do adapting. Thank you for listening.
Next, we're going to call on free verse, Melanie Barahona.
Lately I've been going through some health issues, So I've been trying to get the energy from the core of my body and try to express it as much as I can. Trying to be awake and stuff. I was gonna sing Hallelujah, but it's too extravagant for my mood right now. I was thinking of doing a piece I was working on, Strange Fruit by Nina Simone, 1965. So I'm gonna just try to do my best in these dire situations. Southern trees bearing strange fruit, blood on the leaves and blood at the roots. Black bodies swinging in the southern breeze. In the southern breeze. Strange fruit hanging from the poplar tree. Pastoral scene of the gallant South, and the big bulging eyes and the twisted mouth. Scent of magnolia, clean and fresh. Here is fruit for the crows to pluck, and for the rain to gather, and for the wind to suck, or the sun to rot, for the leaves to drop. Here is strange and bitter cry. Thank you.
Beautiful melody. From members of Free Verse, Napoleon Felipe.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Thank you for having me here today in Freeverse. I'm happy to be here with you guys. I just want to share a piece with you guys. It's called Your Ugly Soul. I hope you enjoy. I knew your fists before I knew your love. I once thought that your upbringing was normal. I knew of other kids like me in Spanish homes who was like, my daddy don't play. Eventually, I got tired of your hands, meeting my face. It was never love, just aggression. You never talked it out. Peace in our home was strangled by your rage, Daddy. The father in my life never rustled his child's hair, never bothered to do anything, but just grin, 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 always menacing looks, no love. God, the eggshells I walked on. The father in my life that you were. Do you look at yourself in the mirror? Do you feel happy with yourself? This raised so many questions within me. What was wrong with me? Was I not enough? Am I not supposed to make mistakes, Dad? So many moments I wish you weren't my dad. In my mind, I found a million replacements for you. A million times I wish you were gone. You were the monster in my closet, the boogeyman under my bed. I often thought kids without fathers were lucky. At times I wish fatherless kids were better off, right? I thought to myself, yeah, without my dad I'd be good. Just me, my mom, the queen of my life, the woman who I call M-O-T-H-E-R. January 13th, something beautiful happened. Your grandson was born. He's beautiful, smart, charming, bright, and full of life. All he knows is my love. He's never known my fists. He's never known confusion. He's never felt like he was a mistake. Never. Not a single day. 2 things you taught me. Never lie to yourself. And when you do, do it with love. When you do something, do it with passion. You're such a contradiction. Because none of these things you lived up to. But yet you told me these things that came out of your mouth. Beautiful lessons from your ugly soul. That's what that was. 2 beautiful lessons I use now to raise mine. It's kind of funny, right? My son needs me right now, Dad. Not right now. My son needs me right now. Where was your love? You want my time? I gotta put time for mine. Thank you. A little bit about that is that it inspired me to write that poem. And given the fact that today's topic today, I felt like I needed to share with the crowd. And I figured that, one thing, people just, they go to prison, and that's an unfortunate thing for the things that we do in our lives. I just feel like if there isn't stability or peace at home, that could potentially create or even foster an environment for a child or children to become future offenders. So we need to think first about what we're at in the house. So I felt like this was a great message for me to share, because I read this often to people in my neighborhood, and I share it with them to see what they think. So thank you for your ears, and thank you for listening.
Next, member of Free Verse, Bruce Kirkland.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Bruce Kirkland. I'm from Free Verse. And I can take a load off right now. I see everybody looking nervous. And this is poetry, guys. That's what we signed up for. I just kind of want to tell you where I come from. I come from Brownsville, Brooklyn. And there's a lot of pain there, but there's a lot of laughter there on the way. And the name of this poem is called Laugh at My Poem. When I was growing up, we were poor. Sometimes we went to bed with no dinner. I used to have wild dreams. I would talk in my sleep. Once my mother said, "Wake up, what was you dreaming about?" And I said, "I was dreaming I was eating steak and mashed potatoes." My mother smacked me. "You selfish bastard. You couldn't share that dream with your brother?" I remember we had no clothes. Me and my sister, my brother, and I. We wore twisted game mats, shower curtains, tablecloths to school. We used dish detergent as bubble bath. If it rained, we would put buckets in the living room to catch the raindrops, I remember my parents getting lucky, and I would bust in the door, and my mother would scream. She would yell, "Close the door, Bruce," and I would just look puzzled. I remember my grandmother told me she killed her dog because it rolled its eyes at her. I remember my mother told me I was retarded, but I grew out of it. I used to take the little yellow bus. That was embarrassing growing up. Like, out of all kids, you in special ed, and you only there because of your behavior. So, I was kind of embarrassed. They used to make fun of me. They used to say, "Yo, he getting off the magic school bus," But, to this day and age, I grew out of it, they say, but I never was retarded. That's just what people come from poverty, I was in class with kids that had helmets, people that's, mentally challenged, not by choice, but by God made them that way. They mean the most to me, and that's what this poem is about. Each one teach one, know, and those people are there to me. And the name of this poem again is called Laugh at My Poem. You could read it for yourself. It's funny. But that's the name of my poem, and that's what I have to share. Thank you, St. Francis.
Member from Free Verse, Yasmin Lancaster.
Yasmin's not here in her place. MG is gonna perform.
All right, MG it is.
No, MJ. I just wanna make you mine. Every time I hit your line, you say you busy every time. You always find a way to doubt me. Why you never wanna trust me? Why you never wanna love me? Baby girl, I need you in my life. I don't need you as my girl. You need to be my wife, yeah, yeah. And girl, I think about you all the time. What I gotta do just to make you mine? You know my name, but baby, I wanna hear it. All boys the same, baby, I'm nothing near it. Your heart is broke, girl, I want you to listen. Treat you like a queen, so girl, don't even fear it. What's your mind, baby girl, that's that. I won't ever let you leave, come back, back, back. Thursday, girl, you're not a throwback. We going up the bins, got that cash, 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 like whoa. Wrote this just to let you know that I would never let you go. That I would never let you go. I wanna go one-on-one. I wanna go one-on-one with you. Baby, I'm tryna have some fun. Baby, I'm tryna have some fun with you. And baby girl, just pull up. I promise I don't make you comfortable. Cause I wanna go one-on-one. I wanna go one-on-one with you. Cause I just wanna make you mine. Every time I hit your line, you say you busy every time. You always find a way to doubt me. Why you never wanna trust me? Why you never wanna love me? See you walk by, girl, you caught my eye. Show a little John, baby, you fun size. They said I won't stop until you're mine. On these rainy days, be my sunshine. In my mind, girl, you in my brain. You a dime, I need no more change. Used to never have friends, now they know my name. Well, once I get that fame, baby, I won't change. Cause I just wanna make you mine. Every time I hit your line, they say you busy every time. You always find a way to doubt me. Why you never wanna trust me? Why you never wanna love me? I just wanna make you mine. Every time I hit your line, you say you busy every time. You always find a way to doubt me. Why you never wanna trust me? Why you never wanna love me? Said I just wanna make you mine. Every time I hit your line, you say you busy every time. You